I would say no from where I sit. And especially with the experiences of some of us with our naivety when we thought we were loving truth. And you're like, oh, I'm doing it the way it ought to be done. It's even biblical. The thing I would say, true love is commitment.
Okay.
And when I talk about commitment, is commitment to transparency, commitment to care for you, yourself, and the other person, commitment to be very accountable in everything you do, commitment to the status quo. Because if I'm committed to you, Juliet, whether you have money or not, I will stick with you. And guess what? With time, the couples that have gone through thick and thin, even when they had nothing at all, one day they start singing of plenty. So if I are committed to you, it's just the way you are. So if that is what we can say now true love is, it is. You can get sick. I didn't get you when you were sick, yes, but I'm still committed to you. You didn't have children, but now you have 5 children. I'm still committed to you. So if people can talk about commitment and sacrifice to some extent, because there are certain situations that can happen in a relationship that would call for someone to sacrifice, then I would call that true love. Commitment and sacrifice. But it's not this lovey-dovey feeling that, oh, I can't even sleep without you. Oh, I can't even have peace before knowing where you are and what you're doing. That is obsession. And it's also good for people to know the personality types. If you ever get a personality type that has OCD, OCD stands for obsessive compulsive disorder. And we have those personality types, or even paranoid personalities, or even the schizotypal or schizoid. You know, the people you can say they are mentally not okay. But how many people are able to read those signs? So people need to be more alert than ever. Yeah, and there's so many things you can start telling about someone, especially when you say you love me and keeping so many secrets from me. Yeah, or you are staying where I don't know where you are. You're not telling me what you do. There are people who stay with people and they don't even know their job.
Sure.
Yeah, and he just tells me, hiyo si muhimu kujua, and you are there with this person, you don't even know what they do. Honestly speaking, and you tell me that could be love, even if they are buying me anything that I would wish in the world. So I think for me, I would say there's really nothing like true love. The only true love is when you love yourself without short-changing yourself, short-guessing, second-guessing yourself, or the love of God. Because for me, I believe there is a God in heaven.
Amen.
And when you love God, truly,
yes,
there is a very high probability you also love yourself. And you are alive to knowing. Because what I see people need to enhance more in themselves is what is called mindful self-compassion. Like you can get inward, accept you are a faulty person. You are a person that can err. And because of that, another one can. That melts your heart to accepting yourself as a limited person and accepting other people as limited. If we go that journey with all the genuineness,
yes,
then we are going to be a very compassionate community. Very compassionate relationships will develop, very compassionate family relationships will develop, and of course the larger society.
Yes.
I wish I could preach and execute compassion to everyone. People can know compassion goes beyond what we call that true love. It is about action, and action to bring some change and positive change in everyone. Well, I want to say lust exists because it's physical. That is physical, mostly physical attraction. where you feel you want to be near Juliet, you want to hug her, you want to keep holding her hands, and everything you really want in your life is just Juliet until you lose your mind, because it's either you and Juliet or you and no one else.
Yeah.
And so in this case, when you talk about now love, love grows. And if we are going to talk about that true love that I have told you, for me, I would define it as sacrifice and commitment. You cannot just commit to me and you have met me day one. It's going to be a journey. And I think most people are not patient. You don't want to walk a journey. Most men that I have encountered that are married, their wives, and they are happy with them, they have very interesting stories. They will even tell you they used to see her. Because me, I'm still on that premise, the foundation, that is so natural, and it's godly. It's the man who sees her first. It can never be the other way around. It can never be the other way around. If it's the other way around, expect problems. Expect problems. And so you will hear men saying they used to see her, maybe even going to school, going to fetch water for those people who live where they fetch water. Going maybe to church, and they just used to like something about that person. But along the way, they would say, there are men who say, if she's mine, and they are there, and they are happily married, if she's mine, then one day God will create a way. They were maybe even terrified, very shy, but at the end of the day, they got together in that divine connection, and they have remained committed to that person. And they have grown together. And there is no way, if that is what you'd call true love, that you will never prosper together. Never. Never. And because I'm a believer, if only people would be a little bit patient, don't rush things, you will enjoy the beauty of now what people call love. Yeah, me, I would say so. Why am I saying this? Because I have actually seen even the situations that I have encountered here of young couples fighting, violating each other. There is a gap in parenting. And that is why I would say, should there be that chance that every parent is a safe parent? When I say safe, that your child feels safe with you. Automatically they develop that secure attachment. In fact, there are studies that also reveal for children who don't have parents, and they identify a figure, whether it is a living figure, whether male or female, or God, because we do have very many orphans that know only God is their father and their mother, and they have that secure attachment with that figure. They are likely to love in a functional way. So for me, there's a lot of emptiness in people, and the biggest contributor are parents. And so I appeal to parents to love their children. When I say love, I'm not saying spoiling them, but being present. Let them share with you their worries. Let them share with you their insecurities. In that way, they will learn that is the way things are supposed to be in life. Then teach them that in the world, they may not meet people like them. Because now that's where now my work comes in. Trauma. You find someone who was brought up very well, very functional. They did not know how to read the other side. They need to also be informed that you can meet someone with a lot of emptiness. How do I deal with them? Because if I really love them and I'm committed to living with them, then I need to know how to live with them, because I am from the school of thought that if I grew up in a dysfunctional family and you have loved one or two things about me and you are committed to being with me and we are very open to each other, I can tell you everything about myself. And in that case, if you really are ready to sacrifice and committed to stay with me that way, you will find we exchange energies. And so the person who grew up without knowing love can also know love from their partner.
Yes.
But how many people are willing to walk that journey? And how many people are aware? Because to me, the awareness is key. There are people I have told here, you are marrying a last born. And you are marrying a last born who has always been given what they want. So are you ready? And then I say, you are a last born. You've always gotten everything you wanted. Do you think this one is going to give you all what you've been looking for? You know? So how are we going to move forward? The awareness, we actually say, is the heartbeat of therapy. How many people are aware? So for me, I would speak more of if we are aware and accept that very many children have grown up without love. So we should have education running. And me, I've always found the school environment as the most appropriate. Why? Because every child must go to school. So if the teachers can also be made to be safe objects for the children, they change. They will love because the teacher has loved them. But if the teacher is also empty, they are also extending the same emptiness. So for me, psychoeducation, this is education that we say changes the mindset, should be encouraged from early childhood all the way to university level. And in universities, we should bring back family education. I don't know whether Egerton still does family education, because most of the graduates from Egerton University used to go through that family life education. I don't know whether we still have that anymore. Because I think we mostly talk about HIV nowadays.
Yes.
We are not telling people how to relate. And yet there is someone who grew up from an environment, they don't know what you're talking about. In fact, all they know what love is that physical attraction. And if it's not there, there is no love.